Until now, we have been reading data from one table. However, often a database developer would be required to fetch data from multiple tables. To do that, those tables need to be joined in the SQL. Let us look at the basics of a join. Here we have two tables called tab 1 and tab 2. Tab 1 has two columns, col 1 and col 2. Tab 2 has two columns, col 3 and col 4. And the data is like this: 1a, 2b in tab 1, 2d, 3e, 4f in tab 2. Now, what will happen if I do select col 1, col 2, col 3, col 4 from tab 1, tab 2? I am basically selecting all the columns in both the tables from both the tables. How will the data be fetched? First, Oracle will verify the SQL code. One of the verifications is to make sure the columns in the select class are present in the tables where the data is selected from. Okay, what are the tables that we are selecting from? Tab 1 and tab 2. What are the columns they have? Col 1 and col 2 from tab 1, col 3 and col 4 from tab 2. We now have the definitive set of columns based on the tables in the from class. Now, the column names in the select class must be from that set. Otherwise, the SQL will fail. For example, this SQL will fail because there is no col 5 in the column set from tab 1 and tab 2. Now, let us go back to the original SQL. As a part of validation, Oracle will look for col 1 in the set. Is it there? Yes. Like that, it will look for other columns as well, and all are there. Now, if you look at the SQL, it shows that we are just fetching data from this table. That is all. We are not passing any other conditions. How will Oracle react? It takes one table first and takes its first row and joins it with every row of the other table. For example, it may take tab 1 as the first table. Then it reads its first row. Then produces an output by joining that row with all the rows in the second table. This would result in this: 1a joined with 2d, 3e and 4f. So a total of 3 rows. Now the control will go to the second row of tab 1 table. Then it will join that row to every rows of tab 2 table. It will result in this: 2b, 2d, 2b, 3e, 2b, 4f. So a total of 6 rows, which is actually 2 times 3. That is 2 as in 2 rows here and 3 as in 3 rows here. This type of join is called as a Cartesian product in mathematical terms, or cross join in relational database terms. A Cartesian product or cross join is a join between two or more tables without any conditions. The result will always have number of rows which is equal to the product of the number of rows in the tables involved in the joining. For example, a cross join of two tables with just 1000 rows each will bring 1 million rows in the result. So, a Cartesian product or cross join must be generally avoided as it may overload the database system. Mostly, a Cartesian product occurs by accident when the developer forgets to include a proper join condition. We will talk about the proper join conditions later. However, the database administration team will usually be wary of a Cartesian product as they may slow down the database system. If they see the above SQL, they might think that the developer who coded this SQL might have actually missed the proper join condition. But there may be situations where the developer might actually need a Cartesian product and they don't want the DBAs to be alarmed about it. In that case, it is advisable to modify the SQL like this. Select call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4 from tab 1, cross join tab 2. When you explicitly mention the term cross join, then everyone will know that the resulting Cartesian product is intentional and the developer knows what he or she is doing. Thank you for watching this video.